Yeah, so try to lose 40 pounds in about 75 days. Or, I mean, you're going to try any specific diets? You're going to do like fasting?
Calorie intake's the biggest thing. I'm trying to stick to about 1,200 calories a day, which is a little on the low side, but I've done this before. I'm less worried about the weight loss part since I've done that pretty
Sure. Okay.
successfully in the past when I'm motivated to. The walk's the bigger thing that's it doesn't sound that difficult, but once you start walking with blisters on top of blisters on top of blisters, it's pretty freaking painful. So I attempted this about 5 months ago, probably before COVID, right before COVID, and I failed miserably. I
Well, I mean, speaking of something that'll get you blisters here is trying to play heads up the old Big Daddy Chaz. Is we had a raise on the button by Chaz, Julian 3-bet, Chaz calls just with a 6-3 high.
think let's see that's gonna pull this down. He's got a backdoor straight, backdoor flush. Yep, he's thinking about floating. Yep, he's gonna float. Tricky.
Yeah, I mean, 4 of
Smells
clubs
out
this just
that,
gives him a lot of backdoor outs.
Julian's
Potentially
pretty
if we
weak.
smash this turn.
Oh,
That's
well,
one.
that might make this pot interesting.
So Julian has made a straight here, 9 to king. Big Daddy Chaz has turned a straight, or excuse me, a flush draw. 6-side clubs.
Kind of think Chaz might try to semi-bluff at this. You don't really float that flop to just give up on a turn like this. You pick up so much equity, and I just think this might be a disastrous spot for him.
Bet of the leads at 420,
He's at least,
or excuse me, 450 as
he's never folding. You don't call that flop just a fold. You pick up equity like that. But I think he might turn into a semi-bluff here.
Yeah, Julian doesn't have much backs, so it's
Julian, he doesn't have.
he's got like 1,002, I think.
Yeah, he
Oh my God!
like I
He
said,
jammed Big Daddy.
Yeah,
You were right on the money there, for Oklahoma. Just says all right if he's got that much.
Unfortunate turn for him, and great time for Julian to mix in a little bit of a semi-bluff pre-flop, 3-betting, and hitting the nuts.
Most of it is, yeah. So mainly what we've done is we've had a lot of people register for our text. So if you text TCH Dallas, it's 21,000. You can get on our text thing that we send out about once a week or so. As we get closer to opening, we'll get more and more stuff out there. But we've had about well over 500, 600 people on there since just putting it up on the website and stuff. So I've been doing a little bit of feelers out there, put a couple of different little surveys together to kind of see what everybody wants to play, what's been standard in these underground games and stuff. So we're going to really try to get a lot of feedback from the players before we make any decisions to see what really is the mindset of the players over there.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a big territory for us to reach in towards, and hopefully you give a great room that people really have all the stuff that they want and hope and expect. And I think it's really exciting for us. That's a lot of the questions I get in these streams. So
yeah, it should be really big. I think it's going to be a pretty big milestone for TCH as a whole. Especially as we're going to be adding another live stream to it as well. So I think there's going to be it's going to create a lot more following. So
yeah, and just for the Dallas poker scene as well, as it's just sort of like planting your flag in there first, or at least amongst the first that are just trying to get to legal. As we've got a bet here by Julian with 2 pair. Big Daddy Chaz has a mystery hand as he bet called. Oh, okay, so Julian had bet 375. I'm trying to play that guessing game as to what Chaz calls a flop.
yeah, this brings you back to the old school days when you didn't get to see whole cards and stuff, right?
Yeah, like all those old stream, like
that's how I got into poker.
yeah, was it like the Scotty Win one where it's like you call us all over, baby, like the old WSOPs.
That's when the degree all in moment used to be.
Yes, remember the U.S. poker
love
champ?
it.
Like that was the thing ESPN did. Oh wow, Chaz pops it up. Oh. So they're like King X with hearts. Maybe a set. It just... I could see him here with like a set of threes or king three or...
Neither hand is right.
Okay, neither hand is right, so these... So Julian's hand is not what this is.
Total mystery.
Yeah, so... Either way, it's Big Daddy Chaz showing some aggression here on the turn. Try to guess the hand matchups. Maybe you're the expert. That is often what happens here between seats 10 and 9 is that the cards either get read by the wrong scanner. So we could have boy, I'm only trying to imagine here because this was... Julian jams all in, so this has got to be a set of some kind, either 8s or 7s. Could this be set over set? Could this have been misread to a point that it's Chaz with set of 8s? It's not. I'm thinking out loud here. Maybe Chaz went for a bluff. You might just never know. There's a mystery here, but only thickens the drama. Big Daddy Chaz, we've seen a lot of these pots. It's just been really optimal situations. Like you get checked to, you make the nuts, and the guy doesn't believe you in the call. But here's a spot where you put the check raise here on the turn and then get bombed in for another 3,100 is different territory, man. It's definitely not kings. I don't think it's a begrudging call, so king here on the end. We'll see, does this hurt anybody? Does this help anybody? We see a set of 8s here for Julian. As we see 2 pair there for Chaz. Yeah, that has got to be a really gross feeling once you get the 8s jammed in there by Julian, that it's just... Ooh.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough hand there.
Yeah, it is. I have been kind of surprised. I did not expect like this would take off this quickly, and then now it's like, okay, we're here to stay. We're gonna build this. We're gonna continue to make this awesome. But it's player support, and I think really just highlights how interesting some of the players can be when you put them in this environment too. Like it's.
Yeah, it's cool to see some of the personalities that you deal to on a regular basis kind of get out there to the public and kind of see some of the stuff that you get to go home and brag about and stuff. So
bottom set here for George, middle pair here for Daddy Chaz. Took a big hit in his stack early on, and some rare moments of frustration, I think, for him. So bet of 60 right here into bottom set that goes check, check, flop. This is a prime opportunity for the Bronstein Bomber to start bombing. Oh, ooh, cooler alert, Yeti cooler alert. 3 of a kind queens here for Chaz. 5s full here for George. And it is a queen of hearts, so this gives the opportunity, I think, for Chaz to get away from this hand a little bit easier. If it was, say, like an offsuited queen, like a queen of diamonds. Because now George's raise there can include a lot of flush cards that he can fold out, but it's like... There's not so much in the pot that if George tries to raise here that he feels like... I absolutely have to call here just by how much is in here. So unless maybe he min raises back. Get a check raise. George bombs it for 725, and don't call him the Bronstein Bomber for nothing, folks.